Hi, and welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about single motherhood, becoming a single mother, and being a single mother. I'm definitely qualified to talk about this. Becoming a single mother was one of the worst things and the best things that could have happened to me. And I'm saying that from a very selfish perspective, but it's important that you understand where I'm going with this. If you are younger watching this, or if you are a single mother too, or a single father, you know, we all have different journeys in this thing and different reasons as to how we became single parents. But this video that I watched really shone through, like, that she had pain. Okay, she experienced the pain of being a single parent, being a single mother. And I'm going to play a clip real quick and let you know my thoughts afterwards. And just the fact that it's just so detrimental, that if you can help it, because there's, again, so many different circumstances, to never become a single mother. And this is a part of why the Most High has bestowed this upon me with my testimony, to spread the message, because I'm trying to not have that happen to you, to try to avoid that as much as you possibly can. And a lot of people will think that, oh, you're policing and this, that, and the third, when in reality, it's coming from a place of love. And I'll explain further in the after this video.
I don't want my baby to feel rejected because of someone I chose to have a child with, although she would not have been here today. So it was still a blessing regardless. But it's hard because I have to forgive myself for even having a child with someone that does not want to be in their life. Pray for your child. Pray that this situation doesn't affect your child in such a negative way. Give this situation to the Lord. Give your child's heart to the Lord. Leave your child in the Lord's hands. But I'm letting it go, and I'm forgiving him, and I'm just going to pray that God just takes every bit of bitterness out of my heart. I don't want my baby to feel
So you can tell, at least I could, that she has a lot of pain in her heart. I don't know who this person is. I just saw it. It's from Tiana Harney. Girl, I don't know how to pronounce this. I don't know why. It's probably something so Tia na her. Okay, but it's labeled single mothers with a deadbeat. And I just want to touch on a few things that she said that were super key, that many people aren't really going to understand. For starters, accountability, right? One day, this was probably, like, I don't know, time is just flying, a year ago or so, or more. I woke up one day and I just had this feeling on me. Like, I just had this kind of heavy feeling, and it was like a realization. Like, I woke up, I was in my parents' crib. I, woke up late probably, and I realized that this was all my fault. Okay, like, yeah, the person that you slept with, they are them, they are who they are. Okay, we are all accountable for where we end up in this thing, even in, thank you Holy Spirit, even in marriages. Okay, the Most High puts the husband as the godhead of the family, who is supposed to direct the family spiritually as well as all these other aspects. But even in that, your husband isn't even in charge of where you go after. Your decisions, how you move, dictate your ever after in this thing, right? And people are going to say that sounds religious. Okay, my response to that is, we will see. And I hope you'll realize and recognize what the truth is before it's too late. But we are responsible for our own things. And it's just crazy. I believe it was the Most High that put it on me, because I was just like, I just really came to a realization, like, yo, like, I was the culprit. Okay, I was the culprit. A lot of single mothers, a lot of women love to play victim. And I'm not saying that this woman is playing victim at all. I'm just touching on a serious topic. Like, a lot of women, y'all have to let go, because that in itself, just to touch on something else she said in the video, brings about bitterness. Okay, you blaming somebody else, playing victim, oh, this person did this and that, and you're bitter. Oh, he went and he cheated. Oh, he went and he got another girl pregnant. Oh, he went and he's not doing what he's supposed to do. He's not caring about this situation. I'm always having to do everything. I always have to change the diapers and feed the baby and provide and do everything, be therapist, cook, and nanny, all combined in one. And that creates bitterness. That creates bitterness. And as you give birth and you watch how your body changes, you watch how you, as you age, as you go on, you're no longer in, and I'm not saying that you're not beautiful, whatever the case is, yes, black don't crack, or whatever the case, or you take care of yourself and you be good, whatever. Like, I'm not even talking about just that, but how you are as a person. Like, I don't feel like it's changed me as a person. Like, thank the Lord, and that was the Lord only. Like, that I still have the heart that I had, that I still have the spirit that I have. It is through Him, but it does something to you stress wise. Okay, it does something to you where you're up at night crying, this and the third, you're stressed out, you snapping, it does something to you that causes inflammation, that causes headaches, that causes depression, that causes these things. And these are things that can make people feel like they're so depressed, make people feel like they're so bitter. Avoid becoming a bitter baby mom. I mean, nothing's ever really perfect, but I have went through a lot the Most High has trying to show me, and I have comprised it in a book, Melanated and Expecting. Avoid the trap, okay? The trap that Satan sets for our youth, especially the young girls and the young men out there. But I'm speaking from experience, being a woman who's been through it before, during, and after becoming a mother. There were things, if I had avoided, I would have not be dealing with certain consequences that I'm dealing with today, but it could have been worse. There's no feeling like knowing that the decisions that you made out of fear have affected the newer generation in some type of way. So hopefully you can learn from the things that I went through and the pain that I had went through, and avoid it. And this was all by the Most High's design. So if you want to check out things like birth certificates, epidural, different things I can't talk about on the internet because of certain reasons, which is a red flag within itself, you can check out the link in the description or the pinned comment. Back to the video. Next thing you know, you're not smiling no more. And this and the third. That's why I praise the Most High. I do it all. That's how I know it's God. I continue to have a smile on my face because it is Him that gave me the wisdom to understand, count your blessings, and also understand it's just something that He is within me. Anything good of me is of the Most High, and it's something that is in me that just keeps on going and keeps on shining and keeps on burning. But y'all have to understand, like, if you can avoid becoming a single mother, that is the epitome of greatness. Like, and to reiterate what I stated in the beginning of the video, that becoming a single mother was the worst and the best thing that could have happened to me. The reason why it was the worst is, it probably for obvious reasons, is that it affected other people. I had kids in my naivety. I had kids in my ignorance. I had kids in my stupidity. Straight up. I could have been book smart, but I didn't know about these spiritual streets. I didn't know how to vet a man. I didn't have that type of relationship with my parents. Not to say they didn't try their best. Everybody trying their best in this thing. Once you become a parent, you understand how. As long as your parents didn't unalive you or do some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. And even then, those are parents for teaching you something. If you live through that, Lord allows it. But it shows you, like, how difficult it is in this wicked world. This world not regular. We got to pay for this, pay for that, tax this, tax that. I like to say they want to tax the air if they could, but if you think about it, they kind of are. Cost of living, they taxing the air, y'all. You can't go nowhere without, oh, you got to pay for parking here. Or, oh yeah, you got to pay for this Wi-Fi. They finding new ways to tax everything. These people are wicked, okay? The sin is increasing. As the sin increases and it gets to its full length, Christ coming back. And this all not going to matter. But at the end of the day, it really make you realize, like, the mistake. Like, there were so many things that I didn't get to experience. Being single, listen, ain't nothing wrong with being single in my book, as long as you're not fornicating. And it's gonna sound religious. Everybody is allowed to do what they want to do. When I say these things, I have the right, especially the fact that we in this country right now and we got the First Amendment and whatnot. I'm not throwing slurs at nobody. I'm not calling you names. I'm not doing nothing. But you'll swear that I'm doing that because the way that people come up in these comments trying to, oh, you're policing women. Well, you're policing me. How about that? Why can't I say these things? That's because it's disturbing your demons. That's because I'm saying something that's shaky, that's resonating with you, but you don't want to admit it because you fighting it yourself. The decisions that we've been making, like becoming a single motherhood, it's going to bring about pain. And people need to understand that. When I say, like, there's so many times I like look back and I say, yo, if only I had just closed my legs and kept my Bible open and just prayed. I remember that day in the church. I remember that day when I was prophesied over. I remember right after Satan introduced a man into my life, because he knows that's what he uses. He uses the same old tricks since the very beginning. Adam and Eve was married. What he want to do? Destroy that marriage. We got women out there, whenever he brings a man into your life, it's to destroy you. It's to destroy your chances of getting married, becoming a single mother. It is just so much to touch on. Women with kids, it literally puts you in a different type of dating market. That's just the facts of the situation. I'm not saying that you can't get married or whatever the case is, or remarried, depending on your situation. Not saying that. It just makes things more of a challenge to weed out the people that just are weird or different things. You already know. And that's why I'm trying to tell y'all, like, it just brings peace following the Lord's word, following the commandments. It's going to bring peace. Look at the world that we're living in. And on the other spectrum of that, the reason why is one of the best things that happened to me is because I wouldn't have learned the things that I know today. Unfortunately, some people just have to go through the testimony. And if you are blessed enough, okay, I was blessed enough to live through different things, live through potentially getting locked up, seeing things I wasn't supposed to see, becoming biologically infected. There's an HIV epidemic going on right now, and people trying to say, oh, that's always been going on. Just because something always been going on, does that make it normal? It is the Most High that was within me. I know that he created my purpose to shed light on my testimony. Because I know I ain't go through all of the things I went through, all of the blessings that I went through for nothing, yo. It will be a sin for me not to divulge this information that the Most High put on me, that the Most High is telling me to do. I wasn't planning to hop on YouTube talking about this, but that's how the Most High work. He already got plans. He already got plans for you. Like, he already had plans for me from before I was even in existence here. This world is just catching up to what God had already created, what God had already ordained. Yeah, if you can avoid becoming a single mother, yes. Would I say, if I look back at knowing the things I know, that's the key. Knowing the things I know, if I could take it all back, not becoming a single mother, yes. The only thing besides that is that I do already know my kids. I already logic. I used to say this, not all the time, but it will come up. Like, if I could just have the same kids, but it was somebody else, it was my husband, that would be lit. But once you already know your kids, it's a wrap. You love your kids. You've already, it's only logical to love the persons that you've been around. But like I said, if it was an option where, okay, nah, you don't have to go through this, da da da, you already know. That the key is the knowledge, is the knowing that from the experience. I'm telling you, like, experience is quite the teacher. And the only way it's a waste, is if you ain't learned nothing from it. And I truly learned. I had to learn. I had 4 of them. Bam, 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 bam. I had to learn the Challenger way. I had the first baby, didn't learn. Second baby, didn't learn. Third baby, didn't learn. Fourth baby, all right, I'm learning. But even then, I still messed up. So when I tell you the Most High grace, yo, because he could have put me in a nutty situation after the third, fourth, fifth, sixth. All of my kids aren't on this earth. I say this all to say it's coming from a place of love. People saying, oh, you judgmental, this, that, and the third. Those are people you should run away from. When you see somebody commit a crime or a murder or whatever the case is, and yeah, of course, obviously that's extreme. But are you not going to judge the person? Should they be judged for their actions? If it's coming from a righteous place, now if I'm over here, I'm murdering this person, I'm doing this to this person, I'm whatever this person, then I go to another murderer who's murdering people, and he's saying, oh well, and excuse me, and I say, oh well, you look at you, how could you do such a thing? And I'm taking lies left and right. That's unrighteous judgment. That's casting stones and you doing the same thing. I'm not saying anybody is perfect in this thing, but we got to use our discernment at some point. And the way you gain discernment is through the Holy Spirit. Because if you sit there and you say, oh, well, you know, this person, let them do them, you can't judge, whatever. But if you have somebody you love and you know something, and you've been through something, and the reality, are you not going to inform that person? Or are you going to stand on the sidelines and watch them decline? That's called a jealous person. That's called non-innocent bystanders. That's called somebody waiting on your downfall. Because it's either that or you're doing it in complete ignorance. And either way, the results are crazy. But that's what I had to say in this video. You know, seek the Most High. Okay. He is literally giving us this grace period to get ourselves together, to learn from our mistakes in this life, whether you with single motherhood or whether you got locked up for 20 years or whether whatever you did in your life. Okay, you smoked cigarettes and now you got cancer and stuff like that, and now you got to learn from what you did and stop smoking and try to get healthy. Whatever it is, we all going through different testimonies in this thing, but it's about learning. And through the testimony, I learned so much. I actually have a book out, Melanated and Expecting. If you are, you know, a mother, single father, planning to be, or you trying to raise your kid up in these generations, they are trying to attack the new generations, y'all. There's certain things I can't even talk about on these internet streets because of the censorship, because they don't want you to know X, Y, and Z. But I went through different things that the Most High tried to show me, but through fear, I did make certain mistakes. And there's certain consequences that I'm dealing with today, okay? And it hit different when you affect another person. That's another thing about becoming a single mother, y'all. You be feeling for your kids. You be feeling for them. She talk about her kids and she pray for pray for your kids, and that they don't build up no type of resentment or they don't feel no type of rejection. And these are just some of the things that if I had known, I would have avoided these mistakes. Just some of the things that I had my kids in ignorance, that I had my kids in stupidity, that I had my kids not learning, okay, I shouldn't be, as a Black woman or anybody, but especially as a Black woman, hopping into a hospital, giving birth. Look at our mortality rate. It's not because we can't have kids. It's not because we weak. It's not because our bodies aren't built for this. It's because we have somebody jealous. Okay, that jealous non-innocent bystander watching up, waiting for our downfall. But worse than that, not even a bystander, but an active culprit. But if you want to show your support in that way while getting edified, you could check out the link in the description or the bio or the pin comment. Yeah, just going over those things, like I said, epidural, birth certificates, and things that the Most High, show me and through my testimony, as well as valuing your virtue. That's another book. Any of the books that are in on my website, if you do purchase it one time, they do get updated. I do go over different things, research different situations, and hopefully can bring it to attention to not become a single mother, because at the end of the day, it affects the new generation, and that is the major biggest thing. Is you don't want your youth to feel that way when a father's not in the home, and especially you got a girl. That's her. Your father is like one of the the key factors to you knowing if you're beautiful or not. I know how it sounds, but there are so many things. Like, I look back and I'm like, wow. But with all that being said, seek him through Christ. We have this amazing opportunity. Open up your King James Version Bible. It has the truth in it. Yeah, there are other versions, but this just has the truth in it. If you pray to God to have understanding more, or you could use different translations or whatever the case is, but just always, take it to God, take it to the throne first. And his love, his patience, his wonders, his amazement in my life. Like, I don't care what nobody says. All you should be caring about, all I care about is what the Most High has to say about me, what he thinks about me, what Christ thinks about me, what the Holy Spirit thinks about Father, Mother, and the Son think about me, the royal family, the Elohim. All praises to the Most High. Stay sober-minded on these spiritual streets. Peace.